Hi, welcome to this video. It's about bike paths in Chico, California. I picked up this map for free at a bike shop in Chico. In this video, I'd like to show two popular bike paths that are on the map: Lower Bidwell Park and Little Chico Creek. This same map is available online in digital form. It shows bike routes around town, and they're color-coded according to the degree to which bike riders are separated from traffic. Green are bike paths that are completely separated from traffic, except for crossing a road or a driveway once in a while. Blue are roads with a bike lane painted on them. And red is for routes along roads with no bike lanes. So the red ones have the most exposure to traffic. Well, I like to stay away from traffic as much as I can, so that would mean riding on the green bike paths. And if you look at the map, you'll notice Lower Bidwell Park is about half red on the map. And but when you get there, you'll see there's hardly any traffic, and it feels really safe. The Little Chico Creek bike path, on the other hand, is green all the way. Okay, we'll go with the best one first, Lower Bidwell Park. It's a great place to ride. From 1 mile recreation area up to 5 mile recreation area. Lower Bidwell Park has a long, narrow shape. It follows Big Chico Creek. As a lot of you might know, part of the old Robin Hood movie with Errol Flynn was filmed here. They used Bidwell Park as Sherwood Forest. We'll start here at 1 mile. Now you'd think with names like 1 mile and 5 mile, the distance between them would be 4 miles. But this ride is actually more like 3 1/4. The path goes under the freeway here, Highway 99. Here we are at 5 mile. I'm downstream just a little from 5 mile, and I was riding my bike here a couple months ago, and a bear walked right across the bike path. I don't want to worry anybody because it's just a freak occurrence where a bear straight into the park. It's not like the bear lives here, but, well, I just want to use the bear to make the video a little more interesting. Well, that was pretty exciting. Okay, well, let's go back to the map for a minute. So far, we've gone from 1 mile to 5 mile. Now, if you'd like to extend your ride, let me recommend the bike path along Manzanita Avenue. It's an enjoyable path. It runs next to Manzanita Avenue, down to Wildwood Park. Wildwood Park has a paved path around the perimeter, so you can loop around and then come back the Manzanita Avenue path, and the out and back distance is about 1.9 miles. This is part of the path that loops around Wildwood Park. Okay, let's ride from 5 Mile back towards 1 mile, and I'll point out a few things about riding in Lower Bidwell Park along the way. We'll ride back along the same path we came up until we go through the underpass at Manzanita Avenue. Then we'll go across a small bridge to the other side of the creek. We'll ride back towards 1 mile on this side of the creek. When we had come up, we were on the other side of the creek. And by going on this side of the creek now, the scenery's slightly different, and it'll give us a little feel of having done a loop rather than a straight out and back. On both sides of the creek, there is a section of road that we share with cars. So it's actually not green on the map, but red. But there's hardly any traffic, and the cars that do come through go real slow. It's not like a main thoroughfare, just people going to picnic sites and stuff. The sections of road through the park that have car traffic are also one way. Basically, cars and bikes go this way on this side of the creek and the other way on the other side of the creek, just in the sections that are red on the map. Not everybody on bikes follows this, and I don't know if that's a big deal. But if you do want to ride in the correct direction, you'll get that feeling of having done a loop rather than a out and back. There are a number of bridges along the creek, and you'll see them on the map. The bridges give us some flexibility. Let's say I start here at 1 mile and I don't want to go all the way to 5 Mile. I can cross one of the bridges and come back and still do a loop. As far as parking, there are parking lots at 1 mile, in the middle of the park, at Manzanita Avenue, 5 Mile, and at Wildwood Park. On the side of the creek, going in the downstream direction, this asphalt's kind of cracked and pretty rough ride. There's a slight elevation change riding through the park, but you don't really feel it. It feels pretty flat, really. Restrooms. In addition to the restrooms that are shown on the map, there's also one at Wildwood Park. There's a nice cool microclimate here in the park with all the shade and the water. It's a lot more comfortable riding here on a hot summer evening than a lot of other places in town. All right, next bike path, Little Chico Creek. This one's the shortest of the ones in the video at 2¼ miles. One end of the path is at Highway 99 and 20th Street at Chico Mall. The first ½ mile of the path runs along the freeway, so it's not that great because you got the freeway noise. Then the path crosses the creek and turns east, runs along Little Chico Creek. Some pretty nice scenery along here, and it ends at Bruce Road. This is where the path starts from the parking lot at Chico Mall. Here we go. On the map we've been using in this video, this path is called the Little Chico Creek Bike Path, but on Google Maps, it's just called the Chico Bike Path. Here's the bridge over the creek. We'll come back here a little later in the video, and I'll show a couple directions we could go from this point. But for now, we'll turn right and go upstream away from the freeway. And here we are coming up to Bruce Road. We're back at the bridge by the freeway. Let me point out real quickly a couple options we have from here. What we just did was start at Chico Mall and rode along the freeway and then crossed the bridge where we are now and turned right and rode up Little Chico Creek. Now, if instead of turning right, we would have turned left, we would go under the freeway, and immediately after the underpass, there's another bridge across the creek. We'd come back this way and we'd go to this park named Community Park. There's nothing that special really about riding in Community Park. I was just thinking of it as an alternate starting point for riding up Little Chico Creek. There's a restroom here and parking lot. We're back at the bridge by the freeway again. You know, we're really close to Lower Bidwell Park from here, so let's take a look at that. Here's the Little Chico Creek bike path again, and we're here at this bridge by the freeway. Now, this bike path is pretty short, and if we want to ride farther, well, we might want to go right into here to Lower Bidwell Park because it's pretty close to this bridge. You can see this blue line, which indicates a street with a bike lane on it, connects us from this bridge to Lower Bidwell Park. We'll make our way into the bike lane on Furs Street, cross the busy Highway 32, then near the intersection of 8th and Furs Streets, we'll look for this passageway into Lower Bidwell Park. And yeah, here we are. Okay, well that's all for this video. I'm glad you watched. Happy pedaling.